Nakakaloka! Oh, wala sa sa'yo.
Okay, center again.
Tracy, yours is a very unique situation. You're one, to my mind, you're the only beauty queen who's having her second send-off. You started your pageant journey last year, did well, earned precious points to keep yourself within striking distance of winning our second Miss World crown. This question comes from one of my readers actually at normanorman.com, and it goes like this. How do you keep yourself, honestly, how do you keep yourself from losing the momentum? Let's set aside yung mga sagot na, I get my momentum from the Filipino people. Let's be honest. How do you keep yourself from losing the momentum, knowing that it was almost there, it was within arm's reach, and then na-cancel, bigla na-postpone. What are your thoughts about this? I have a question also for you two ladies. You too may question.
Thank you, Tito. It's a really, really good question. And I will tell you the honest truth. Because I have no control over the decision of the organization and what they are exactly looking for as the next Miss World. But what I can control is myself. How I prepare, my mindset, my heart. Because most of the time, as someone who is always overthinking, as someone who easily gets scared and who easily gets nervous, and sometimes who easily gets disappointed, I always have to talk to myself. I always have to rely to my friends, to my family, to the people around me, and most especially to my core team who have been helping me since day one. Again, I always rely to all these trustworthy people. And again, if there is something that I can do, I will keep doing it. I know that in my journey in Puerto Rico, it hasn't always been easy. It has been filled with so many ups and downs, and I know that the crown was almost there. The coronation night was cancelled on the day itself, and I was heartbroken, to be very honest. I had the same exact questions myself. How can I keep my momentum? But instead of worrying about that, worrying about what the organization might think, I will just worry about myself and what I can keep doing here. So again, I focused my energy and my time on reflecting about my recent performances and what else I could do better. I visited my hometown, I visited the solo parents, because it's good to be reminded of my purpose, to be reminded of how amazing it is to see their smiles, to hear their pleas, and to see how amazing their support has been with me in this entire journey. And again, it has been a good feeling that I was able to go home to Cebu just a few days back, because I have my renewed strength, I have renewed my inspiration, and I know that this time, it's gonna be our time. This is the time for the Philippines.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Best of luck, and as wishfully Megan Young would say, I'm looking forward to having my second Miss World Filipina sister. Yeah, because it will happen this month. Now I have a question for both Kathleen and Michelle. Another reader sent me this question. They say it's kind of a controversial question, but it has to be asked. What can you say about people saying that, okay, puro saying, there is a glut of pageants geared towards environment or eco-advocacy, that parang, can they get enough of this environment pageants and stuff like that? How would you answer this question? Are you more lean towards saying that there can never be enough supporters for Mother Earth? Or is it more of, well, that's a pageant, we have to live with it, they organize it. What are your thoughts about it? Is there a glut of Mother Nature themed pageants these days. Kathleen?
The world is changing. Before now, pageants didn't have advocacies. We see pageants as beauty only. No, it wasn't brains before. So the fact that we have the ability to use our voice and an incredible platform to showcase our advocacies, that should be celebrated. It shouldn't be questioned. We shouldn't even have those kinds of opinions, but I can understand it and I can respect it. And it's up to us, as well as you guys, to educate people on this aspect, that the advocacy is an important point of view to have in pageantry, and we should celebrate that. Thank you.
And Michelle?
I think any competition that allows a beautiful, intelligent woman to step on that stage and speak her truth is important. And especially the time is now with what is going on with our planet, we must change. We have to uplift others. We have to educate and inspire people to make a difference in their lives and to make sure and ensure that the future generations to come have a clean and green planet that can start families as well and not have to worry about a climate crisis. So why not have any more beauty competitions that speak about the environment? We have the social awareness and understanding, but we lack the education and we lack the consistency to actually do something. Things are changing, but it's too slow. We need it now. That's the thing. So I'm hoping when we step on that international stage, when we have the courage to speak what we think is right and to show others that we are empowered, that they too can do it. That is what is important.
Thank you, Michelle. May I just say, your video I've seen it maybe 12 times now or more. It's just one of the most beautiful videos in viral.
Thank you. I worked very hard.
Your cinematographer is just out. And one more thing, this is the first triple send-off where all the three queens will bring home the crowns. Mark my words. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tito Norman.
Gilbert Sacha, the digital celebrity.
Good afternoon, Tres Marias. My name is Kim from the Without the Fear Without Paper Daily Tribune. So my question is actually, I'm not sure if it's hard, but it's timely. So what's your advice to the people of the world during the pandemic and the current Russian invasion?
My advice to the people who, up to this day, we're still experiencing pandemic, and every single day we're experiencing more and more crisis with what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. I can't imagine what these people are feeling at this point. I am not in their shoes, but I can empathize. We all have our fair share of struggles, and we can speak from that point of view. We can speak from that experience. And if we understand how hard life can be, I know that we can be more kind to others, we can be more compassionate to others. And I would like to put it out there that if there are times that we feel like we are above others, because most of the time, that is where most of the misunderstandings come from, even at an international level. If we just learn to see each other as our equals and as our brothers and sisters, then we wouldn't be in a place where we are today. We wouldn't be in this crisis in the first place. And I hope that all the leaders will see in their hearts to prioritize the people, prioritize the lives of the people, because we don't need more lives to be lost.
I believe I'm not in any position to give an advice. I actually don't know what's happening there right now. We can only see what's happening through the lens of cameras, televisions, and postings of other people, but we don't know what the individuals out there and the families that are suffering. there are lives being lost every single day there. And the only thing I can do right now is just use my voice to share awareness on the situation. I believe that war is never an answer. There's always a political solution to these situations, and I really hope that Russia and Ukraine can come to a solution. Thank you so much.
You know, as a beauty queen, it's our duty to speak out on topics that might be sensitive to hopefully educate people and get updates and also make a difference. But when it comes to war, we might have a voice, but it's up to the leaders to enact change. And it's very unfortunate to see what is happening with Russia and Ukraine. And we live in a world where the time is now to have peace. Why are we creating unnecessary deaths and casualties, ruining the livelihood of families and communities? These people don't deserve it whatsoever. And if we can come to an agreement to stop all this nonsense and just come to terms and be at peace, that's what's important. And I'm praying every day that it comes soon. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but maybe within the coming weeks. And I just hope, I really hope we do have peace in the future.
Thank you, very well said. Good luck with Yo-Yo.
Mabuhay! Army Nadina, 24, Philippine Daily Inquirer. Hi, ladies. The Miss World Philippines organization is undergoing a rebranding and released a new slogan, Exceptionally Empowered Filipina. How do you think you embody this new mantra? Let's start with Tracy.
I really love the new slogan of Miss World Philippines. Thank you, Sir Ryan, and to the whole Miss World Philippines organization for coming up with such a beautiful slogan and platform for Miss World Philippines. And as for me, I'd like to think that I'm already an exceptional, empowered Filipina myself. I carry the Philippine sash with me. I carry the hopes and dreams of not just Cebu City, but of every single Filipino and every single child, and who wants to be something and who wants to be someone in the future. And I'd like to be that constant reminder for them that, again, if you keep moving forward despite whatever is happening today, that no matter the struggles that we experience in our lives, as long as we keep believing, as long as we keep working for our dreams, then we will make it. And you will make yourself an empowered Filipina.
Thank you, Tracy. Kathleen?
I'm an empowered Filipina because of all the previous women in the world who has conquered battles, fought, and grew over obstacles that was left behind because of past histories. But now I am a kind, honest, determined, with grit to fight for all the other obstacles that we as women go through every single day in society, that I hope that I can encourage our future women in this generation to pave the way as well. I hope to continue this legacy as an empowered Filipina and create new legacies for the future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. How about you, Michelle?
For me, I try to be unapologetically myself at all times. I'm not afraid of who I am, and I'm not afraid to show everyone who I am. And as a Filipina, I have gained so much knowledge and insight of who I am as an individual from learning from my heritage, my culture, and experiencing all the traditions our community has to offer. And although the journey has been extremely difficult, I must say, every time I've fallen, I've gotten right back up. I've gained more courage, I've learned more about the world and myself, and I've been able to speak out on things that I disagree on or that I am passionate about. And I think that is what makes me empowered. And I want to uplift other women. I want to inspire them too, that they too are empowered. That's.
Thank you very much for courageously carrying the Philippines on the international stage. The best of luck to you, and carry in your hearts the support of the Filipino people.
Good afternoon, Queen Tracy, Queen Kat, and Queen Maureen. I'm Ethan Concepcion from Manila Standard. My first question will go to
Queen Tracy. You wowed everyone during the Beauty with the Purpose competition inside that hall, and after that in YouTube, and I was one of them, Tracy. So, question, what's the present situation and future plan of your Beauty with the Purpose, particularly that para kay inay advocacy ng itong mga needy solo parents, Tracy?
Thank you, Sir Ethan, and thank you to all of you who has acknowledged this project. And I think I've already fulfilled one of my purposes, which is to bring awareness about the plight of the solo mothers, bringing that with me and bringing that project with me in an international level where they are now recognized, and the Miss World organization themselves even promised that they would be funding the project. They would personally come here. I'm just very, very happy for them that I paved the way for them. And again, I visited them just a few days ago, the solo parents in Cordova. That is the main that's the main branch of my organization, the Solo Parents Federation of Cordova. And it's about bringing together all those people who want to make a change for them, not just the government units, but the private organizations as well. And this project, it's all about sustainability. Making projects all on your own would all the time be impossible. But again, if so many people come together, if so many people just realize how much power we have, if we just help one another, if we can contribute, even with our small little ways, then there is already a bright future that we can create for the solo parents and the families that they have. And as to your question about sustainability and future plans, the project has always been continuous. That has already started a few years back, 3 or 4 years ago. And now that I've already partnered with them and I brought with them the awareness and the help of the Miss World organization, I know that the trainings, it's all about computer and BPO trainings, giving them the literacies and the trainings and the knowledge that they need so that they can be hired for better opportunities. We have even partnered with most of the BPO companies in Cebu. And I'm very happy to share that because of the video that we made, the project that we made, so many barangays and even provinces in Mindanao and Visayas are now reaching out to me, asking me how we've started the project in a small community in Cordova, and they would like to replicate that in their barangays. And I think for me, that is the best part about this project. It is not limited to just one community. It can be replicated to every barangay, every community in the Philippines and all over the world. I see comments from Europe, from Americas, that they are touched, that they are inspired of the stories of these single mothers. And they admit themselves that even them, from first world countries, they experience the same struggles. So if we can replicate the same success that we had in Cordova to the rest of the world, then I think that I fulfilled my purpose as future Miss World, hopefully.
Congratulations, Queen Tracy, for that advocacy. My last question for Queen Kat and Queen Michelle. Guys, this is a very practical question, and we always hear about it. What do you think is the best solution or advice to people to stop throwing garbages and destroying the earth because of their malpractices here in the cities and even in the far-flung communities? Gaya ng nabanggit ni Queen Tracy sa mga far-flung barangays.
What piece of advice? Well, the first things first is education. We have to educate others on what they can do to properly recycle, what types of plastics there are. Did you know there's 7 different grades of plastic? I just learned that the other day. And each one there's a different process to go through each. And I don't think it's not just in this country, it's all over the world that we lack the proper facilities and usage to be able to recycle. And you really have to start at like an early age to really embed it into your everyday habits. And if we had better facilities here, it would be a lot easier for the communities and people to be able to create a cleaner and greener planet. So we have to call to action to our governments, mostly. And if they can build these better options for us, then the whole country can move forward and make sure that this beautiful country that we call home can thrive in the future.
Thank you, Michelle.
So in high school, I actually learned the subject visual communication, which is one part about signs. So what I noticed coming to Manila is there's a lack of signs and rubbish bins or trash cans, sorry. So that's one thing I was really bothered by, and I'm seeing more and more actually trash cans. Sorry, we call it in Australia garbage bins or rubbish bins. So now I see more littering boxes, recycling boxes and rubbish bins, which I'm so happy for, but I think we need more signs as well with no littering, stuff like that, and then also bring it to the government to fund all of that. Because I don't think it's the responsibility of businesses themselves, but I would also really hope for the government to have some sort of initiatives to start and provide almost like a discount or like tax discount for businesses to become more greener and to be more eco-conscious. So I think that's happening, I think in Pampanga, one part. And I really hope all the Philippines can become like that. And then in the more rural area or in the province, education is a really important aspect, and it is just it's also our responsibility, but also the government's responsibility to do that, especially the LGU. And I noticed them, actually in Aklan specifically, that they're really taking initiatives to do that. And I can't wait for the whole Philippines to continue going along this way. And as with the previous question with Tito Norman, I can't wait for more pageants to be actually advocating for eco-friendly, for the environment, because the time is now. We can't be waiting, because in 50 years maybe, we don't know what our world's gonna look like. So it's happening right now, and we need to act on it. Thank you.
Yes, agree, more actions. Thank you, and best of luck to the three of you.
Hi girls, good afternoon. Congratulations in advance from the Crown Philippines. This is Christian. So you're obviously exceptionally empowered women. So at this point, we just want to know, and probably if you can share your self-thoughts, and probably what you would be telling yourself once you step foot in Egypt, in India, or in Puerto Rico again. So basically, how does an empowered woman empower herself, and what does she tell herself to be empowered?
For me, what I will tell myself when I get there tomorrow is to have fun, enjoy every moment, and just be kind and friendly. Just showcase who you are, because no matter what's gonna happen there, if you're just being yourself, you can't go wrong, right? So just be myself, be kind, be friendly to other people, and when they see that, they get to appreciate you for who you are. If they don't like that, that's okay. And I hope with the aura and the energy that I radiate, other people can also absorb that and be happy. Because that's what I'm advocating for, life. I want other people to realize that they deserve to be on this planet, and being there in Egypt is just as much the same thing for me, because I'm showing as well the Philippines that any Filipino can become this queen within themselves, even if it isn't a pageant. So be myself all the way. Thank you so much.
So I'm just gonna always remind myself to stay strong. There's always some type of meaning to whatever life throws at you in any situation, and I can use that to fuel me and to use that as drive to win that crown. I'm not leaving any room in my mind to lose. I'm gonna take it home. And I also wanna keep reminding myself to have fun, most importantly. I don't wanna get so caught up on this journey to getting it and then lose the whole experience because I didn't make friends, or I was too focused on doing this and this and this, rather than just having the time of my life. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I want to cherish it, and when I have kids in the future, tell them my story, and I want to inspire them. So it's this life that we have, it's meant for purpose, and make the most out of it. That's truly what I'm going to tell myself every moment, every hour of the day until I get there.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Christian, and thank you to the Crown family. When I arrive in Puerto Rico, once again, I will just keep telling myself that I am a Filipina. I wear the Miss Philippines sash. I carry with me the hopes and dreams of every single Filipina and every single person who believed in me, and I will not fail them. If I get tired, if I am unsure of myself, I will just tell myself more and more that I am there not to represent myself this time, but to represent every single Filipino. And I've had the opportunity to show who I am for the whole month of December when I had the chance in Puerto Rico. And this time, with just a few days left, it is the time to seal the deal. And I will remind them that it is our time, once again, as the Filipinos. It should be given to us this time, because we are ready.
Thank you. Congratulations again, Mr. Philippines.
Thank you. May I just remind all our media friends that we will be accommodating last 2 questions. Thank you.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. What's up everyone? What's up Queens? My name is Tristan Paris from What's Up? That page. So my very first question po is from a teammate and a friend. And his question is, what are the biggest hurdles and obstacles that you have experienced during your preparations? And what motivates you to win your titles?
Hello, was it Tristan? Tristan, hey, what's up Tristan? Thank you for your question. I guess I've had the longest preparation because of the postponements, of course. But back in my first try, I've only had a few weeks to prepare for when I leave for Puerto Rico. And I guess the biggest struggle for me was, of course, time constraint, financial constraints. Coming as a simple girl and coming from a simple background, that is always one of the hardest things to accomplish. Finding the right people, finding the right connections to put together all these amazing output that we need, that are required by the organizations that we represent. And aside from that, it's the mental stresses, it's the battle that we fight within ourselves. Because sometimes, again, even if we are already crowned as representatives of the Philippines, we still feel what you guys normally feel. We feel all these emotions, we feel the pressure. And it's, for me, one of the hardest battles. So if I overcome that, and I've overcome my personal battles myself, and this time I'm able to represent the best of me and the best of the Filipinos.
Thank you, Ms.
So I'm a mental health advocate, as many of you know. I've advocated for mental health for a really long time, and I want to normalize that conversation because I think you all believe that us queens, we have to be happy and perfect all the time, but that's not the case. For me anyway, it's been really tough the past year, I guess, since Miss World Philippines before, because of the pandemic. And it's really hard to stay positive in a situation where you're far from family, you're far from friends, and it's really hard to find jobs, right? And I know I'm not alone in this situation. I know a lot of us, even in this room, 1 in 4 of us, are feeling a lot of pressure from life. And that's what I felt. Financial burden from pageantry is a really big thing for me. And I'm so glad for all the teams and the people who has shared their generosity to me and shared their blessings. So that's been a really tough situation. And I'm proud to say that after tomorrow, that's going to be past in terms of the financial situation. Mentally, practicing a good mental state is really important. And I've been doing that, and I hope that you all are. And I can't wait to continue this advocacy of mine until the future, until I pass away. Thank you so much.
So for me, it's not the preparation that is what's most difficult when preparing for a pageant, because that is the most fun to me. I enjoy doing that. I'm very well prepared for my competition, and I'm excited to show what I've been working so hard for. But what is most difficult is the outside things that happen in life. Life is not easy. It throws hurdles at you, trying to make you fall down, and even though at times you don't want to stand up, you have to. And with everything going on currently in my life, I'm using that as fuel to drive me. It's the glue that is holding me together so I can stay motivated and courageous and win. But with that, I just want to say, just keep a strong mind, keep a strong heart, know who you are. You're going to get through anything that may come at you, and we're all having a human experience. So make the most out of it and enjoy the journey.
There's a lot of people who have been asking you for advices, but this time kayo naman po. What is the best advice that you have ever received? Or just any learnings po from your past years?
The best advice I ever received was truly know who you are as a person. Anytime you start a certain adventure in your life, at any age, you can get lost. And if you don't know who you are to your core, it's very hard to maneuver through that. And back when I joined in 2019, I was very lost at who I was. I was young, I was 21 at the time. How can you possibly know who you are at that age? And I'm 24 now, I still don't know sometimes. But we're all going through this. We all learn and we grow as people. And what made me win this year was I got to know myself a little better. I know my values. I know what makes me tick. I know what makes me strong. And if I can use all of that and keep myself together, then that is the best advice that I have received. Because once I did that, I really persevered and I got what I truly wanted out of life. And I know the blessings will keep coming if I keep that mentality.
So I'm a very value-based person. I grew up having values instilled in me by my parents. And one of the things that they taught me was to always be kind and to always be humble. And always know where you grew up. I grew up in a clan where life is very humble, you know. Bahay kubo life all around us. And it's instilled in me all throughout now, and I will never forget my upbringing because that is who I am. Even though I grew up in the first world country as well in Australia, I'm always reminded of my upbringing, and I get to take that along with me into my journey, and I can't ever take that away from me. No one can ever take that away from me. And when you instill kindness in people, like myself, how my parents did, you get to share that on and radiate that to other people and teach that lesson to other people, and then end up having them be kinder and ultimately have a kinder world. So for me, the best advice my parents have gave is to always be kind and humble. Thank you.
For me, well, it took me a while to really think about what the best piece of advice I've ever received yet, because I've received so many in my life. When I lost my mom 11 years ago, by the way, my family, my second family is right there. They made it to my send-off. I may have already lost my immediate family, but I found a family in my cousins, my titas and my titos. And they kept on telling me, no matter what journey, no matter what path I choose to take, it's to always be kinder to myself. Because as someone who is mostly very competitive, someone who is an achiever, who always wants something in my life, sometimes it gets tiring. And I'm reminded that I'm allowed to say thank you to myself. I'm allowed to appreciate myself for braving it through all the hardships that I've gone through in my life, and to just really look at myself and just be proud of all the things that I've achieved. And if you can do that for yourself, that's called self-love, and it's not selfish of you to do that. So I'd like for you to do the same. You can tell yourselves that even the small wins, we celebrate those. Tell yourselves that you've done a great job, that you've made it through the day, even those small things. it can always lift up your day. And when you start your day right, then the coming days will all be great too.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. And with that one from WhatsApp.
Alright, we will accommodate our last question for today.
Last but definitely not the least, Mars France. Hello girls, good afternoon. Yan. Ang question ko is coming from a friend na nag-question sa inyo. Sa inyong tatlo, for you, what is the definition of true queen mindset? Start tayo kay Michelle.
True queen mindset is someone who's courageous and is not afraid to speak out on what is wrong. And I think all of us as beauty queens have that capability. We have the opportunities and we have the platform to speak out and inspire others and hopefully make a change in the world. And if we can use that to influence others, that is a true queen mindset. Someone that can speak her truth, walk with grace, talk with conviction and confidence. That is the epitome of it.
Kathleen, for you, what is your definition of true queen mindset?
True queen mindset is growth, it is strength, and it is purpose, and it's intentional. So all of those things, when you put it together, you can find whatever you are advocating for and bring it into the world and make a difference. I've always had a purpose in my life to educate, whether that be about educating mental health, eco-friendly situations where you can put into your habits, and life. I had a second chance at life, and I want to take this opportunity and grow as a person, to forge through, have purpose, be intentional with who I am, and grow. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but definitely not the least, Mars
Hello, Mars France. Thank you for the question. Well, I remember when I started with pageantry that oftentimes we are told that when you join a competition, you always have to have the winner mindset. And what is a winner mindset? They always tell us that when you enter a room, you have to think that you're the best one, you're the best girl, you're the best candidate. And for some reason, that did not sit well with me at all. That I believe that it wasn't my personality, that it wasn't me. And I don't like to think that I don't have a winner mindset, because I think I do. For me, a definition of the winner mindset is to stay humble, to stay grounded, to stay grateful to the people that you work with, to your co-candidates, to your sisters, to the organization, and to all the teams that you've worked with since the very beginning. And if you can always remember that, and if you bring them with you in your journey, and never leave anyone behind, I think that is a true queen.
Thank you, and good